Welcome to the Short Marketing Show, where we get insights from professionals who've experienced success in building credibility, driving sales, and creating awareness so that you can do the same. In this episode, Justin and Blaine sit down with Kristen Rabell from Rabell Realty to uncover how she makes time for marketing her business, even on the busiest days. If you think you're too booked to invest time into growing your business, this will be a great episode for you to listen to. Take a listen to find out for yourself how to efficiently stay top of mind and how to stand out even in the most saturated of markets.
Kristen, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. It's Monday.
It is Monday. It is Monday. Tell us a little bit about yourself and Rabell Realty Group.
So myself, well, let's see. I was born in Gainesville, so I am from here. I did move away for a couple of years, but came back. I'm a fourth generation broker, so it's no surprise I'm in real estate. But I can tell you I did not want to be in real estate growing up because my dad, Ivo Rabell, owned a company. It was more property management. But life sort of like pushed me into it. And the moment I became a realtor, I realized, oh, this is what I was meant to be.
Awesome.
It really made me super happy. I love working with people, and you know, coming back home really, worked it out for me.
Absolutely.
So.
Give us a quick 60-second overview of what business was like when you got started and kind of to where it is now.
You know, it's not a huge difference. So I started in 2006, and that's when the market was on fire, but it was a different kind of on fire market. There were a lot of buyers, a lot of sellers. They were giving money away to everybody, so anyone could buy. And when I came in, I mean, there were realtors who owned super flashy cars and made a ton of money. And, you know, the market was really tight. I remember there's a realtor who told me, I won't know who you are until you've made it and been around for 2 years. And so, you know, it's just really a tough market. Everybody was super competitive. And, then the market crashed and everyone didn't use the word pivot. Pivot's like a real, buzzword right now, but everybody had changed. And we watched, we were in a class, and Rebecca Johnson, who's not here with me, we actually started right around the same time and just got to know each other. But we watched everybody get out of business, and I was in it to win it. Like, I knew I found where I wanted to be, even though I came in a really tough market and everybody was competitive and kind of rude and rough. And, it was hard, but I knew I was going to stay in it, and I guess she did also. So we were just like, what do we need to do now? And honestly, I know this is a show about marketing. We realized we have to market, and that's what we have to focus on. So we started helping each other out by paying for the really expensive print marketing, which I won't say printed is dead because I know who you're related to. It was not dead at the moment. Right. And that's sort of where we focused on, is just marketing ourselves. And I remember we would call realtor.com, and they're like, you need to market yourself as a foreclosure or short sale realtor. And we're like, we don't want to do that. And then we realized that's what we had to do. Yeah. So a lot of us who stuck around, the big dogs stuck around because they already knew everybody. And, so they were able, because they had those connections and they had all that past business. And some of the past business came to us. Some of the fact that I was from Gainesville, people knew me, but they also knew 5 other realtors.
Right.
I graduated with another guy who was a realtor also, or is a realtor also. So, it was the connection part that kept me going, but also changing what I was focusing on. And then Rebecca was from Tampa, so she didn't know anybody.
Gotcha.
So she just sort of came along with me, but she had a lot of marketing prowess herself, and she's an idea girl, so a lot of ideas. So we sort of put ourselves together and just rocked it out.
That's awesome.
Worked through it. Again, everybody was out. It went from about 1,400 plus realtors down to about 600. Wow. And we were some of those 600, and we formed really great connections and relationships with the other realtors in town. And we really learned how to work with each other, because we were all there going, wow, we're making it. We don't know how, but we actually made more money during that time.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And it's just because you, again, pivot, you change to what the market is happening right now. So a lot of people didn't want to put forth, the effort or the work to get through a short sale. The shortest short sale I ever dealt with was 3.5 months. And usual closings are 30 to 45 days. The longest was a year.
Oh, man.
So you're waiting and waiting, but you're having...
You're putting in all that work with no commission.
Exactly. And then, so this market right now, 1,400 plus realtors, competitive in a different way, because there are 175 listings and also 1,400 buyers, actually probably 3,500 buyers. So the realtors out there are really having to work. So here we are now, we've gone through this time. So we have our connections, we have our people, we have our marketing down, and we're just helping the others, in our company work through that. And, we have a team. We're more of a teamerage.
Okay.
We have realtors or companies who have realtors who work for themselves, right? Mm-hmm. Independent contractors. We have independent contractors at ours, but we also have a team under us that works with us. So, I think when we came into the market before in 2006, there weren't really a lot of teams, not in Gainesville. There was one or two, and everybody knows them. But nationwide, there were more teams, but Gainesville really didn't have that. So we were a special team, like, 2 women, separate families, just really good friends throughout the process, coming together, staying together. A lot of people don't have that. We have a team down in our Tampa office that's the same, 2 best friends. Right. And they're called the Nerdy Girls, So yeah, we do have an office down in Tampa as well as Gainesville and over in St. Augustine too.
Gotcha.
But that's very rare. But we started realizing we got so big that we do need people under us to work with all of our customers as well. Absolutely. And we still market a lot.
Love that.
And so, we make it through this because we've been around, we know what to do. Do we do it perfectly all the time? No. Honestly, are we always learning new ways? Yes. Because now the kids that are coming in, and I call them kids, they could be 45, right? But they're kids in real estate. When they come in, I actually make jokes with them sometimes. I'll get to know your name if you've been around, but they know I'm joking. The same thing that was said to me. Yep. But you can tell who's going to make it because they're the ones who are using all of the new technology, and they're really working it. And when we hire realtors, we want them to either, like, 2 of the 3 things: have connections, understand marketing, right? Have some sort of knowledge of marketing, and not be afraid of technology. And if you have 2 of those 3 things, you're more than likely going to make it. Because you got a lot of older people who don't understand, the internet quite as well.
But they know everybody.
But they know, we have one guy, he's, been around for forever. He knows everyone. Yep. And so he's going to make it just solely based on that.
It's true.
That's awesome. Yeah. So diving a little deeper into that, how a lot of people listening are in the same boat as a lot of real estate agents. I think real estate agents are the most in this boat of, it's a very saturated market. You have to find a way to stand out from your competitors. How would you, what are the steps that you give to your real estate agents or that you've done in the past that helps you stand out from the crowd of realtors in your market?
Well, I can tell you, like, when we started really marketing ourselves, we went away from the normal formats. We stayed within them, but we went away from them. Rebecca and I were kind of the first ones on Facebook, really, to use it as a fun marketing tool. We actually made fun of the older realtors who all had their like very stuffy, business attire on and their pictures there. And we're like, and just would post that. And that's all they would do. Here, I'm a realtor. Here's my page.
There's no personality.
That's what
a massive sales pitch.
That's all. And we realized, okay, well, we'll go on Facebook and Instagram, right, when it came along, but we're going to have fun on it. So we decided we're not just going to put like our, business cards on there. We're actually going to put, nicer pictures of ourselves and be personal. So we don't have separate personal pages that are business pages. We have Rabell Realty Group. But when we were before Rabell Realty Group, we sort of had this one page, Kristen and Rebecca. And we would post all about our lives, our dogs, our kids, local events, what we were doing with local events, when we were putting on events for our past customers or maybe, for any local companies, we would post pictures and post that and really just, be
present, top of mind,
very personal,
and then we would respond back. But we would also take our photos and we always did professional photos. No matter who we used, we would always find the best one and use them. And we were, it was very embarrassed for all the agents, especially when you have like $1 million home and you've taken the pictures with your iPhone or, camera, and they look terrible. So we were always doing that. So we take those, post those on, learned how to write up really good, content to put them on there and then share them everywhere. And you just learn how to use these platforms. So when you find out that sharing works or commenting back, you have to comment back by a certain amount of time, that rises you to be higher. And there was another company who was we don't think of anyone as competition.
Yeah.
But they were close, and a lot of people, said we're very similar. They had just been around a lot longer. And we noticed they would go out and buy likes and buy followers. And we just decided we're going to do it all organically.
Nice. Yep.
And so we watched the numbers.
Yeah.
And a big part of knowing what your marketing's doing is watching the numbers. So we have it on our phones. We're looking back all the time, what are others doing. We also traveled a lot. So we would go to the National Association of Realtors Convention, the Florida one, and then other places where realtors from other areas would come. And if they would tell us a really great idea, we would totally
jump on it.
Idea. And especially if it wasn't, they weren't utilizing it around here.
Right.
And some of them was taking a photo and writing on it. And just, scribbly stuff on it, really pretty. And there were different apps that we would download and do that. And looking back, all of that looks like such garbage now, but we were the only ones doing it at the time.
And you started with something and you rolled with it.
So we really started on social media, which we're still there, but now everybody's on social media. And yes, some people don't do it right still. Others do it amazingly. There are some realtors who have come in, these newbies, these kids, going back to that, and they're killing it because they're doing video. They're doing, just live all the time.
As much as they can.
It's not really just Facebook. You've got TikTok. You've got, there are a couple other ones that didn't really do well, but TikTok and Instagram, I think, are really big. And then getting back on LinkedIn.
Yep.
And so, those are some places that we are on. And then using Google Business and, YouTube and anything else you can.
Yeah.
So the ones that are on there are doing really well. So we're constantly telling our realtors, make videos, create videos. Don't be scared. No, you don't have to be perfect. We certainly were. We're still not perfect.
Yep.
Yeah.
We have a live podcast every Monday, and live, you're going to mess up all the time. One time I got on there and it's like, happy Tuesday at 4:00, completely wrong. But, that's what makes us
absolutely
unique in us. And, you did ask that question going back to a couple things, it's really about being you, but also understanding either your market or, the people, we always call them like your cheerleaders, your favorites, right?
Love it.
Yep.
People who are watching you, understand them. Not everyone's the same, but you're going to attract the people who find you fun or exciting or smart or educate, whatever you're showcasing, you're going to have the followers watch that continuously. So if you're not getting somebody over here, that's okay. Honestly, there's 1,400 realtors. I'm okay if another realtor gets that business instead. I'm not here for every single seller or buyer, and neither is my company. Yes, we want a lot of them, but we know the reality. The reality is you're not going to get all of them. So you get who you can.
Awesome.
Right? But you have to be real.
Of course. A lot of people say that they don't have time to market their business. What would you say, to those who are struggling to find time, and how do you make it such a priority, or how did you make it such a priority?
I remember when COVID hit and a lot of people were like, I'm not going to have a lot of money. I'm going to pull back on marketing. We actually threw everything we could into marketing.
Nice.
Because that's when people are watching,
Yeah.
right? When it all goes to hell in a handbasket, people are going to something to find that happiness again. So you just go on there and you just keep running. So I don't know. I think you make time. I mean, you've got to. This is the way that people are going to know you. Find a way that you like to connect with people and market that. Put that on there. If you don't like Facebook, don't use Facebook.
Yeah.
Use TikTok. If
Absolutely.
you don't like TikTok because you're nervous about that, use LinkedIn. Use something that you like to do and do it really, really well.
I love
Learn
that.
everything about it, and then you can get to your next one. I think people who are saying they don't have time are just probably nervous about
Making excuses.
they don't like to work, right? Or they're nervous about it not being perfect. It does not need to be perfect. There are so many people who fear doing anything because it's not perfect. I have that problem, but here I am, right? I go on that podcast. I go in, my stomach is all butterflying all the time. I know I'm going to make a mistake, but you just have to do it.
Right.
So, setting a calendar or just doing it. Nike was so perfect. When
Just do it.
Just do it.
How has Rabell become one of the most desirable brokers to work for as an agent?
Oh, gosh, I didn't even know that. I mean, I'm a little too modest to answer that honestly. I think we are two very strong-minded women. And that's why we have a lot of women that work for us. They're like, oh, we want to work for those two, amazing chicks that have like really made it and done it for themselves. So that's who we would attract. We love men also. Please come to us if you're a man that likes powerful women. But we like to attract the people who want to work hard, can see that we're fun. I think we have beautiful colors. We don't have normal real estate colors. We have something that's a little different.
Right.
Plus we're cheeky, honestly. We make jokes. We're funny. We have this little like sandwich board outside of our office, and we do not have normal come in. We have like weird stuff, funny stuff, kind of dirty. We're into S&M, sales and marketing.
Gotcha.
I mean, we've got a lot of cheeky stuff, and we always try to stay relevant with the time. What's up and coming right now. Baby Yoda is still huge, so we have Baby Yoda up. When Ellen was really big a couple of years back, we had when her dancing and come in and dance with us, and
That's cool.
So we have fun stuff, and it's out there, and we change it up all the time. We're never stagnant, I can tell you that.
Love it.
I love that. And would you say that like your marketing efforts have helped you? Like, I know a lot of marketing goes towards your customer. Would you say that marketing has also helped you attract those realtors that you want to work for you?
We do focus on attracting the realtors as well. So we'll do marketing for both. And
That's
we do, we really are more of a listing company, or we prefer to be.
Yeah.
That's just where you're going to make it. That's what we learned back in 2006 when we started, and then it tanked. You have to be. And look at this, 172 listings. I'm pulling a number out of my butt, but it was like last week that they said that, so, once, you have to have these listings because you are powerful to have those. So we focus on that. But now that we're a brokerage, we also focus on who's getting into real estate, who's not happy with where they are right now. And we have different videos and different commercials for that as well, and different ways to approach that. So
Gotcha.
I love that.
What marketing avenues or platforms, if you will, have worked for Rabell, or in the opposite, what hasn't worked?
Anything online. Okay. So what hasn't worked? I mean, whatever doesn't work because the numbers aren't showing will just drop. Right. And so we've tried literally everything. And I remember in the very beginning, we're like, let's just do everything and see what works the best. And after a year or two, you would drop whatever happened. Right. So right now, Facebook, we're not having quite as much fun with, but it's still very powerful for us. So we stay on there. Instagram, we really like. So we get a lot of business from Facebook and Instagram as a company. We also do traditional real estate stuff like being on websites and, definitely pictures, professional photos, and then having professional videos and drone footage, and then sharing that everywhere. Having a great Google business page, and being relevant on there and posting there as well. We just got back onto LinkedIn, and we're trying to use it like we do with Facebook, and that's really been helpful. And then, we'll do small TikTok videos and then throw them else everywhere also. But we love the videos that we work with you all. We're not, shameless plugging you. But I mean, we had to find a company that, did videos for us. Yeah. And, because that is keeping us ranked higher on these websites and especially on Facebook and, again, putting them on LinkedIn. Yeah. And so, we know that video ranks us higher. And then our podcast, on we probably don't even plug it enough, but we have, and then we put our podcast on YouTube and on Spotify and a couple of other sites so that it's there.
Nice.
So we can share it later, but doing something consistent, right, is really the key. So whatever it is, we always do it consistently. And if we fail at the consistency, we're not doing well and the numbers aren't working.
Love it.
So you say, what do you do well at? Well, anything that we're consistent with.
Absolutely.
Just do it and just do it consistently.
I think now a really big thing about us with marketing also is you got to be out there, right? So marketing is actually a big part of it is connecting. Yep. And with COVID, we all had to pull back on that. So we're super excited about getting back in front of people and taking part in, local events and local charity, events and things like that. Because that is a big part of marketing. Just being there, wearing your shirts or, a name tag or something. I mean, now at this point, I'm not all, like wiping my shoulders, but at this point I'm like, well, I've been around long enough that usually people know me. Yeah. So, and I just have to introduce myself to the new people. Cause again, there's a lot of new realtors and new people in town, but so I don't necessarily have to wear the shirts, especially if I'm going to something fancier, but getting out there and having intention, not going, okay, I'm going to drink all that wine there, saying, somebody gave me a really great idea one time and I used it a couple times. And now that we're back, I'm coming back to this, but have intention when you go to one of these events. find out who's going. There's usually like on Facebook, who's going there. You find the 5 people you want to meet.
Nice.
You go and you research anything you can about them because it's all on the internet, right? And then your intention is to meet them, introduce yourself, and talk to them and connect with them on something that you can connect with who they are. And then you've actually networked correctly.
I love that.
You don't just go, and maybe you need a little bit of, wine to help with that, but you're going with an intention to meet someone that can help you with your career or you can help them.
Yeah, I love that.
So,
last question here. For one of those, for a business owner who's listening who says that they have trouble, delegating. They're doing everything themselves, all the marketing, everything. What advice would you give them to be able to delegate and offhand that to someone else or to other vendors? If you will?
That's really funny because I am a control freak, and it took Rebecca and I like 10 years to finally hire someone to take on. And we were like, wait, what? That was amazing. Just do it. Give them, and no one is going to be you. You're always going to want to choke them to death sometimes, when they aren't you, but you need that help. So find someone, start giving them little things here and there, see how they work. And as they can take it on, give them more and more and more, but you have to release that from yourself and you will feel so good once you do. And you're going to find people that you can't. We have changed so many staff persons. It's hard to fire also. It's hard to fire, but you just have to. If they're not working out, get them out. Now we know within 2 days. You know,
that's true. Very
and we're
true.
just like, okay, you're not going to work out here. But you just have to take someone on and just give them some tasks,
control
and give them more tasks and more. And as they can take that on the tasks, then you learn you can give up a lot of stuff.
I love that.
You can get rid of your control freak. Most business owners think about it. You open a business because you know what you're doing, right?
It's your baby.
You're really good at this, right? I think the
it.
biggest advice I can give, though, with that is understand no one is you.
Got it.
And that's going to be the hardest part. But understand, if you can get them to be 80% of you, then you're doing it right.
Awesome. Sweet. Well, thanks for coming on the show. Where can people find more information on you and Rabell Realty Group?
Well, our website is buysellrebell.com, and then that is our handle for Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, buysellrebell.com, buysellrebell. Right?
Awesome.
There you go.
Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed that episode. This is Jason. I'm the producer for the Short Marketing Show. I've got a special question for you. Do you know someone who you think would be a great guest on our show? I mean, hey, it might even be you. Send us an email over at info@shortmediagroup.com, and you or your pick might just be selected to be a guest on a future episode. Until then, guys, if you enjoyed this conversation today, we invite you to continue the conversation by joining our Facebook community, Gainesville Business Marketing. Guys, we made this group especially for business owners and everyday marketers to have a conversation, to join each other and overcome your marketing struggles, find tactics that bring real results, and to seek advice from local experts like you heard from today. So, we hope you join our Facebook community, Gainesville Business Marketing, and until next time, thanks for listening.